r/ask Reddit. What male-female double standard do you dislike the most? Men do not want sex 24/7. Maybe some do, but I imagine most don't. And I used to really hate it in my last relationship, where if my girlfriend turned down sex it was totally normal and okay and I need to respect her wishes, but if I turned down sex it had an incredible emotional effect on her because all men always want sex, and if I don't want sex it must be because I no longer find her attractive. Now, that relationship wasn't the most healthy give and take in the world, but I still feel like in the back of every woman's mind that if their boyfriend turns them down they're probably feeling this even just a little. When I turn down chubby women I'm shallow, but I get turned down for being bald and it's just her preference. My favorite is the 5-foot girl that only dates guys that are 6'4" and taller. A lot of girls are able to put something like "don't swipe right if you don't have a beard" or something along those lines on their dating profiles. I can't imagine the backlash or perception if a guy included in his bio, "don't talk to me if you have small breasts." That part of being a man is being disposable and no one giving a duck if your life ends up ruined. We hear talk all the time about the gender earnings gap, women's right to bodily autonomy via abortions and access to birth control, and other women's issues, and those are all important things to discuss. What we don't hear as often is the fact that 84% of the homeless are men, 92% of workplace fatalities happen to men, 91% of people in prison are men, etc. We talk about the subtle forms of discrimination in society that result in women choosing to pursue careers which don't compensate them financially the same way that careers popular with men do. But we never talk about the subtle forms of discrimination that cause men to ruin their lives at a rate nearly an order of magnitude higher than women. One night in a bar, this incredibly drunk, incredibly skanky woman started ducking grinding on me while I was just trying to sit and drink a beer, rubbing her gross vag all over my pant leg, and generally being disgusting and inappropriate. While this was happening, I thought if the roles were reversed, security would be tossing me out the door head first. Instead, people just laughed. Similar thing happened to me when I was 18. Some drunk, 40-ish-year-old woman stumbles over, gives me the eye and just grabs my crotch. Her friends ran over and dragged her away. Me and my friends just laughed about it, but just the other day I was thinking if a 40-year-old man did that to an 18-year-old girl he almost certainly would have ended up in court. Not to mention the backlash from other people in the pub. Here's the best part in all this. If you'd had, rightly, pushed her off and she had fallen over from being drunk, you'd have had every white knight in that bar trying to throw you out thinking you had assaulted her. The woman would play along because in her mind you've just rejected her and made her look like an idiot. That women who have sex with underage boys aren't given the same sentences as men who do the same with underage girls. It doesn't even matter which gender they are having sex with, there's still the idea hanging around that women can't be pedophiles. Equality is only sought for the good things and not the bad. Everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others. As a male teacher, it really makes me mad that I can't console any student in a nurturing way, because it's frowned upon to give a student a hug. On the contrary, a female teacher can literally have a student sit on her lap during read aloud. I do this, I'm on a one-way ticket to the dog pound. Women are supposed to love children. Men who love children are pedos. I'm a child-free woman in my 30s. Have nothing against them. I just don't want my own. And prefer not to babysit, although I still do sometimes for friends and family. People still assume that I'll change my mind, that I should jump at the chance to spend time with children, or that there is something inherently wrong with me. On the flip side, if men really want kids, want to work with kids, or love babysitting, they are eyed with suspicion. It's one of the double standards that I think has a negative effect for both genders. Pretty sure any guy over 18 starts to distance themselves from any kid not directly related to them because of this. When a man is a nurse, people think and many times say in their face couldn't become a doctor. Ha. After assuming that he is a doctor, and those same people think that the female doctor coming into their room is actually a nurse. I'm a male flight attendant, and the entire cabin crew recently just assumed that our female captain was the first officer, and her male co-pilot the one in charge. They even wear uniforms with stripes to make it clear. It was an eye-opening case of unconscious gender bias. Also, every time the captain made an announcement over the PA without first identifying herself as the captain, I assumed it was one of the female flight attendants speaking. We've still got a long way to go, baby. If a woman sleeps with a bunch of guys, she is an empowered feminist. I do, and I am a gay. WTF. You forgot to say no homo after. I'm a 19-YO male, and I babysit my 3 and 6-year-old girl cousins often. Last time I babysat them, we played tag. Then we had to go to the grocery store. The 3-year-old decided that she wants to play tag and runs away from me, so I chase her down, playfully saying I'm gonna get ya, in a funny voice cause it gets her to laugh. A mom passes by and grabs my 3-year-old cousin, takes the 6-year-old and goes to a manager. My aunt had to come down and tell them that I was watching them. That was the worst it's been. But if I go anywhere in public with little kids, especially girls, I'm seen as a predator pedo. You should have charged her with attempted kidnapping. I'm a stay-at-home father because I'm taking care of my wife and I's 2-year-old son. My wife's got a career that's promising advancement and she works sometimes 12-hour days. I often get the why doesn't he have a job and he's a deadbeat dad routine, but if I was a woman I'm sure I'd hear about how mothers work so hard as housewives. TLDR. Man stays home raises child equals lazy. Woman stays home raises child equals hardworking hero. Drunken 18-year-old woman can't consent to sex. Drunken 18-year-old man can consent to sex. Can evaluate if women are too drunk to consent. I'm a feminist, and I think this double standard is shit. If you or your partner are slurring, staggering, or have thrown up, you are too drunk to consent. That is the standard that should be taught. Leave gender/sex out of it. Know someone who's a barrister. They recently had to handle a case like this. Defending the guy. Case got called off in the end. But damn it, this stuff needs to be looked at more. Girl has vibrators or other sex toys. It's normal. Guy has a pocket kitten or fleshlight, he is a weird loser. I hate the TV portrayal that if a man cheats it's cause he's an a-hole and heartless, but if a woman does it's scandalous and it's cause her husband must either treat her bad or is just never around. Or because she is looking for true love. I know my ex was. I'm sure of it. Someone should have told her that love is not a liquid that is consumed through a fleshy turgid straw. In the UK, girls can join the Scouts but boys can't join the Guides. Not only that, but there's always a shitstorm every time a girl is rejected from joining the Scouts. But the leader of the Guides, Julie Bentley, says that boys should never be allowed to join the Guides and nobody cares. I was talking to my wife about his exact thing a while back and we both agreed there needs to be a co-ed scout organization that gives boy and girls and the spectrum an equal opportunity to learn any and everything. Like everything ranging from bushcraft to domestic skills, and it should be available to all the kids, no questions or restrictions. If I am out somewhere with the kids without my wife, I am giving mommy a break and having a special day with the kids. No, dummy, we're just going to the grocery store. Just tell them your wife's dead and laugh at the reaction. Me as a woman, I'm a Seahawks fan. Men. Really? What's Pete Carroll's blood type? Who was the second string left tackle in 1982? How many tickets sold at the Seahawks-Dolphins game in 1996? Like, come on guys. You don't know that shit about your teams either. Same goes for video games. Women can wear capes and so many hats. I want capes and hats. Men need to take time to be fathers. We have a whole advertising campaign about it. Mothers are automatically great mothers and know what to do from birth. When my son was 3 weeks old, his mother had to stay overnight in the hospital. I took my son home and the nurse asked her if she thought everything would be okay. Also, I'm not babysitting. They're my kids. I'm dad. I'm being a parent. When I go to a bar and order a drink, the bartender passes me up for 15 minutes, but a girl who walks up 10 minutes after me is immediately served and she doesn't tip. I got one better. On the rare occasions we go out, my wife is the one to get the drinks. For this exact reason, it's faster. One time she was busy dancing or talking or whatever, so I decided to get myself a second Jack and Coke. My wife told me it cost her $7, so I grabbed a 10 and planned on tipping $3. I was charged $10 for the same drink my wife was charged $7 for. Either he pocketed the difference, or just overcharged. Welcome to no tip land, a-hole. Never went back to that place. Women get like a full extra chromosome leg. So freaking unfair. Actually, yes, this backup set of genes in the second X chromosome can provide the dominant gene to override a bad mutation in the first one. Like color blindness, women do get an extra protection layer here. Men have one chance, and if it is messed up, you're ducked. I don't know why I remembered this from honors bio in high school. If a woman wants to work with power tools, she's empowering. If a man wants to work with kids, he's a pedophile. Women having to shave their whole body, otherwise we are branded as unclean and disgusting by men who have hair all over their body. Literally men calling women disgusting for not shaving their armpits while they wear a singlet bearing their armpit hair for all to see. I don't like that there's this idea that men only want sexual gratification. Guys have emotions and like cuddles too. I don't like that there's still this idea that guys have to be the breadwinners and provide for families. Some guys are cool with being house husbands, and women are just as capable of bringing home the money. I don't like that women are still viewed as walking wombs and are expected to have children, and are viewed as broken or wrong or in denial if she doesn't want children. I don't like the double standard in dating. It's a lot easier for women to get dates than men. I don't like that women can scream, cry, and cause a scene to get a man to do what she wants, even if he's unhappy with it. I don't like that men always have to be stoic. I don't like that women are viewed as weird or drama loving or attention seekers if they have mostly male friends. There's a lot more, but I think that's enough. Okay, one thing that bugs me is how women are expected to be great cooks and guys not so much. In fact, my parents discouraged me growing up to learn how to cook until I was a young adult because they told me I needed to be motivated to find a wife to cook for me. Now that I am older and actually enjoy cooking, I think it is a stupid double standard. If anything, both guys and girls should both learn how to cook. It is a useful life skill to have, and it is fun. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.